Hello again, everyone, and welcome to The Crusher. I'm your host, Josh Brewster, with my esteemed colleague and co-host, Susan Olson. Susan, how you doing?
Good, thank you. And look,
Good. I
she
wanted to
knows her
catch up
cue.
with you. Who's the show us who you got there. Have you got Bellatrix?
Okay, I've got Bella.
Oh,
Bella
to hold her
just
up.
doesn't miss
Bella
an
always she
opportunity to be on camera.
wants to make an appearance.
She hears
Uh,
me up here talking, and
well, she's very
got to be a part of it.
she's got a lot to say about the debate, but I want to start with you because I wanted to do a little debate recap today, and then get into another topic. So why don't I just let you start on what your thoughts were about the debate as Bella feeds you information from the deep state.
Well, in the first place, Biden did better than I thought he would. And with his first answer, which was monumentally long, I just kept thinking, wow, they sequestered him and had him practicing, and he has memorized a good amount.
Yeah, well rehearsed.
Clearly it was memorized.
Well rehearsed.
If he was just any other Alzheimer's patient, it would be very impressive.
Right.
But he's a candidate for president.
No, he is the president. No, he is the president. He is the president.
Well, okay, what I mean by that, what's scarier is him being a candidate, because it means another 4 years and things aren't going to get any better.
No.
What really absolutely floors me is that while the mainstream media, who are nothing but propaganda, have been covering for him all this time, everything he does, he wanders away, and they say, oh, well, there was something over here, and they're always covering for him.
Oh, yeah.
Never admitting that he's lost a lot of his faculties. Now they all get together, and I guess they were given the go-ahead by Obama or whoever is really in charge to go ahead and say, yes, Biden is not doing well. Now that's strange enough, but what really gets me, and I'm sorry because I don't like to blame the American people, but I get it. You go to work, you have other things to do. You don't spend 2 to 5 hours watching the news like I do. And what you see is on CNN or whatever, and it's propaganda. So all these people are just now going, oh my gosh, he's acting like an old man. Wow. Whereas actually he was doing better than he usually does. But it just shows people are being spoon-fed their information.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, he had an off night. No, I'm sorry, it's an off presidency. When you have an orchestrated invasion of the country that you're supposed to be leading, that's a bad presidency. It's not a bad night, not a bad debate. It's bad stuff. And of course, the BS about Trump. Oh, he's such a liar. He lies. Yeah. And Biden looked into the camera and said the economy's great.
Yeah. Well, let me say a couple things. Now, of course, the first thing they did after this decrepit performance by a decrepit man, you can't fool people. You just can't fool people forever. At some point, the light is going to be shed on this. And that is what happened. And just like when I was caring for my mother before she passed, last 3 years of her life, she had Alzheimer's, and it wasn't going to get any better. And no matter how many intellectual backflips I did, it wasn't going to get any better, and it wasn't my mom. So, people who've taken care of an aging parent knows this.
Sing, by the way.
Oh, did you? Well, here, look, they talk about, Trump lied. Let me tell you, there are things that Trump talked about that the media immediately decided this was a lie. He's right about China. The Bidens are deeply, deeply entrenched with China. He didn't even get to talk about that spy balloon that went over many of our nuclear sites. This was not a joke. He's being paid off by China. The whole Hunter Biden thing is real. and you know, you can't ignore this. There's all kinds of truths. The border is open. Yes, they said this is a falsehood. Yes, they are emptying their mental hospitals and their prisons and sending people to us illegally. That's true.
Yeah,
That's not a lie.
I know. And most everything, it's just Trump has an unfortunate way of delivering truths because he's so busy bragging. It's the best. It's tremendous. Um, that when he says something that's rooted in the truth, it sounds phony.
Well, look, they're
And
Pravda, Susan. They're Pravda. They're going to jump on him no matter what. But I want to say
yeah,
this. Let me say this, Susan. Tell me what you think. You know, Biden set up the parameters for this debate. It's going to be on CNN, which is might as well be Pravda. Okay, it's on CNN, and we're going to cut the mics, and we're not going to have an audience, which, by the way, I thought was great. And
yes,
we're not going to have
all
an
of that.
audience. We're going to cut the mics. Everybody gets 2 minutes with a 1 minute rebuttal. He sets up all the parameters, where he wants to stand on stage, who gets the last, all this business. Now they're saying that this was Trump's fault. Trump said, "I'll meet you anytime, anywhere." So I thought it was a gift to Trump to get him to shut his mouth and to be more measured, to be more factual. And I think for most of the night, I thought Trump absolutely nailed it.
Oh, I do too. I think that there were some opportunities that he missed.
Yep.
And like I say, it bothers me to hear him go, the best economy the world has ever seen. No, Trump, come on. You did good.
No,
You
be
had
more.
a far better economy than Biden, but it's not the
Yeah.
best economy the world's ever seen. I
Well,
just don't like the exaggeration.
well, no, there were a couple of things. I think that you're right. There's some things like you could have said. It's very simple, but gas was $2.50. Gas was $2 when I left, whatever it was.
Not here in the land of gruesome Newsom.
Yeah, no, it's $5.50. I filled up today. But no, he could have hit him with some more facts. The border was secure or more secure, and he tore up all these executive orders. But I thought in general, I thought the leash was Trump's best friend, and it came back to bite
Oh,
Biden. It came back to
and
bite
I'll
Biden.
even say kudos to CNN for doing an excellent job.
Yeah, and
All those parameters were great. I didn't understand. At first, I thought, why has Biden chosen to go first? And then I realized it's because his answers are memorized. And he probably knew the questions ahead of time.
well,
Come on, they cheat every chance they get.
while they're
And they
scrambling.
knew that if he rebutted Trump, he would get lost. He would forget what the question was, which
Yeah.
happened anyway.
Yeah, I also like that they shared it with other networks, which I thought was important because my disdain for CNN knows no bounds. But they shared it with other networks. It was an historic debate, and there were things about fentanyl where Trump wanted to go back and answer earlier questions, and I was like, just recognize the fentanyl, or the child care. He wanted to go back and answer something else, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I've never been under that kind of heat. But I got to tell you, folks, you don't let your lying eyes fool you. What Biden is in the condition that he's in, and you can't hide that. You can dress it up all you want. You can have him working from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., whatever they're saying he's doing. But ultimately, the truth is going to come out, and it came out. It came out big time, and everybody saw it.
Well, and I know that Biden isn't in charge. Biden is not making the decisions. They can get somebody younger and better looking and whatever in there, but it's still going to be the same people making the decisions. It's still going to be the same bad decisions that really had nothing to do with Biden's brain. But the thing about Biden is there's an essence of weakness, obviously, and we look stupid. We look really foolish on the international stage. And, there was one thing Trump always had going for him. And I back in 2015, 16, I was talking to the director of Jihad Watch, who had personal
Robert
reasons.
Spencer.
Yes, personal reasons for not liking Trump. And I said, yes, but when it comes to these Islamist governments,
Who do you
Trump's kind
trust?
of perfect. That bravado, the hot wife. I mean, it's all rather perfect. And for 4 years, I had no worries about
Well,
jihad.
look, we'll make it very, look, we'll say it again. He told the Palestinians, Trump told the Palestinians, as long as you are devoted to wiping Israel off the map, we have nothing to talk about. And that was how it
Thank you.
was. And yes, I'm
Thank
moving the
you.
embassy, all American
Abraham
presidents,
Accords.
all American, yeah, and the Abraham Accords, which dangerously the left ignored, but he said, I'm going to move the embassy just like Obama promised to, Clinton promised to, Bush promised to. I'm going to move it. Oh, you're going to inflame the Arab world. He says, I'm moving the embassy. And they moved it and nothing happened. Why? Strength. That's why. And we've talked about this, so I don't want to go on about it, but that Chinese spy balloon was a provocation by the Chinese Communist Party and its army. And Americans sit here like this is a joke at a circus. This is an effort to collect our nuclear information, whatever they can cull from all the way across the country. Iran sees this. If you want to know why Hezbollah is about to unload 200,000 missiles on northern Israel and why Hamas did what it did, look no further than the weakness of Joe Biden. I'm sorry, folks. It's the way it is. That's what they respond to. Ukraine probably wouldn't have happened. I'm glad Trump talked about that. By the way, give credit to Trump, because the media wants, and CNN wants to forget about Afghanistan, and he was hell-bent on reminding everyone about our exit from Afghanistan and the lives we lost and the $85 billion worth of shit that we left there. So good for Trump. He was right.
Exactly.
Thank God. Thank God.
Arming the enemy treason? I mean, I guess it wasn't when Hillary and Obama did it.
It's utterly unbelievable. So, Susan, let's do this. Even the most hardcore Democrat puppeteer is now talking about we've got to replace Joe Biden. Now, you and I live in California, so I want to call this segment Beware the Snake. I'm going to say something I've said to you on this if people haven't seen it. Gavin Newsom is a very dangerous candidate. He is a very dangerous man. He is younger. He's a Democrat. He's good looking. He can talk circles around almost anyone, including Donald Trump. You can tell me California's been turned into a shithole. Most people don't live in California. Most people don't live in California. You can tell me the border's a madness. Most people don't live in a border state. We've talked about this. Beware of this snake. He's saying all the right things, Susan. I am telling you that when it comes time to pull the lever, there's more than enough people in this country who will say, he's good looking, he's articulate, he can talk, he's younger. I like Gavin Newsom, he's a Democrat, and then they're going to yank the lever for Gavin Newsom. Everybody can laugh and tell me what a shit show California is. Susan, I'm going to shut up with this. Beware of this snake. Trump's job will be 10 times harder if they put up Gavin Newsom. Do not underestimate the snake.
Know. I
what do
know. This is what I hear. It's like, no, stick with Biden. Stick with Biden. Please, stick with Biden. Because unfortunately, and a lot of these people might be very smart and might love them, but there are people that are so shallow when it comes to politics that they're like, I like his shirt. I'll vote for him. They don't pay any attention to the policies. And then, when the future of their children is gone, they'll cry about it, but they won't realize that they were part of the problem.
Gavin Newsom.
And I don't know, you just have to
open borders. Susan, open
it
borders.
Takes another 9/11 to get people to wake up and not
Susan,
be woke.
Open borders, Gavin Newsom. Free health care for illegals, Gavin Newsom. It- it-
He is stealing from your kids, my kids, your kids. We both have sons whose futures are dim because of these policies, because of what Biden has done and what Newsom would do on steroids. He would do it even more. Throwing away the country, giving everything, giving health care, giving all the benefits away to people who are here illegally.
Newsom and his
Tell me
wineries.
that's fair.
Newsom and his wineries. We can get into the facts on this another time. Newsom and his wineries and his business dealings with China. They're very, very real, and the media will laugh and say it's a falsehood. Gavin Newsom will sell America to China. Gavin Newsom is a snake. I'm begging with the American people now.
Well,
I am begging you to not fall under his spell. He is a snake.
I hesitate to criticize the American public too much because, I mean, we should all be in this together, but there are a lot of people who are terribly shallow about their choices in government. And for those people, they care so much about who has had sex with who. They care about the sex lives of these people. Well, we do have something on Gavin Newsom. I actually said his name correctly then. It's probably the last time you'll hear that. But he had an affair. There's footage of him apologizing for the affair he had. And it wasn't just an affair that he had while he was married. It was an affair with the wife of his campaign manager, who was also his best friend. So if you want to play that game of who's the better person, who has more integrity, Gavin has some pretty bad stuff on him, and there's footage of him apologizing, which I'm going to spread like napalm.
Well, his
Germany.
Trump's team had better be ready, because I think that most people would say, oh, it's Gavin Newsom. Everybody knows California is crazy. Everybody knows that California is out of control. They really don't. They're not here.
No, they don't.
And they
No.
don't. And what really concerns me is his ability to talk, Newsom's ability to talk circles around people, including Trump. And the Trump team better be ready, because if they think it just got easier, if I'm assuming that they put up Newsom, it just got harder. It just got a lot harder, because it got a lot younger. It got much more lucid. You're not going to be able to run him over in a debate the way you ran over Mr. Assisted Living. And that's the way it is. So you're in trouble. You're in trouble with Gavin Newsom. You're in trouble. And people see a younger, better looking guy. And I hate to tell you, people are dumb enough. They are dumb enough to go for that.
Yes. I mean,
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
See, I don't think that people are as sour on her as our side says, no, they can't run her because everybody knows she's an idiot and blah, blah, blah. No, they don't. They see woman of color.
Woman of color, Democrat, younger. That's all they see.
Yeah.
That's right.
And she could say the stupid crap she says, like, and we're here, which means that we're not there.
And if you're not prepared, to bring up, her bailing out people who tore our cities apart in the summer of 2020 at the wonderful George Floyd riots, and all the things, and her favoritism toward an open border and all the other things, and really tear her down. If you're not prepared to do that, then she's just going to be this virtuous intersectional victim, and people are going to vote for it.
Yeah. Oh, at last. I mean, there are people that when he was, quote, elected, which I'm sorry, that was a coup, but there's not enough proof yet.
No, we'll have to give up on that one.
Yeah. But I mean, people were so happy going, oh, we finally have a woman. And it's like,
we have a woman. She's not white.
That.
Yeah, we have a woman. She's not white.
Woman.
Yeah, really.
Our first black president was shit. He was nothing but a shill for the Muslim Brotherhood. And I wanted a black president. I would have voted for him if I had gotten to the polls on time. And I didn't, so I don't have to have that blood on my hands. But I would have voted for him. I cried tears of joy when Obozo was elected. And it was not long after that I went, oh, wait a minute. This guy's a race baiter. This isn't going to heal us. This is going to make things worse.
Yep. Yep. And think about the LA Times suppressing, I should flash this picture. The LA Times suppressing that picture of Obama with Louis Farrakhan smiling. They suppressed it for years. If there was a candidate who had a picture with some white supremacist, it would be right there the moment they got it. They sat on the picture of Obama with Louis Farrakhan for years and acknowledged that they buried it. And this is your media. This is your media, folks. All right. Well, listen, I have to cut this short today.
We're going to do Hunter.
Oh no!
I mean, that's election interference.
That's the crime. I don't care about the crack. I don't care about the hookers. I don't care about any of this. I don't care. Influence peddling with foreign governments. I guarantee you, if his last name was Trump, he'd be under the prison. Okay, so that's the way it is. But Susan, now we're going to conclude. I have a tribute to stupidity. Tribute to stupidity. Yay! Susan, let me take you back about 30 years. Susan Smith, if you might remember, South Carolina woman, and this is not the funny part. She served time in prison for going on, maybe 25, 30 years for a 1994 murder of her two young sons. If you remember, she drove them into a lake. Okay, this is horrible. There's nothing funny about this part. Well, in the comedy that is our lives, her first parole hearing is coming up November 4th. And she spent the past few months convinced that she could be getting out. As a result, she's hard at work, according to the New York Post, finding sugar daddies willing to bankroll her life on the outside. And the 52-year-old inmate is not above engaging in a little phone sex to lure them in, according to family sources and South Carolina prison calls. It's time for me to get out, she told one suitor earlier this year in one call. I've done my time. I'm ready to go. Her kids, by the way, are still dead. In a March conversation with one sugar daddy, potential sugar daddy, she asked him how she can support herself if she gets out. So he goes on and says, I'll tell you what I did last night thinking of you. I made a spreadsheet that starts out with $213,000. You're going to have more than that. You'll be in the $220,000 range all put together. The sugar daddy, potential sugar daddy continues. You can spend $40,000 a year while you're withdrawing from that balance. It's still earning interest on the undrawn amount. And he goes on and on and on. Even after 20 years, you'll still have some left over. And after a short pause, she says, I love you so much. And the potential sugar daddy says, I love you too. And then they make kissy noises to each other. And pray to God this person spends the rest of her life in jail. Susan Smith. So my tribute to stupidity is the American male. Yes, you. I'm looking at you. The American male. You and that damn penis of yours that does all your thinking. Sugar daddies falling in love with prison chicks. That is my tribute to stupidity. You're not even in prison. Do you get calls like this, Susan? Do you get guys calling you like this?
Actually, the best fan letters that I got, you don't really receive it when you're not specifically on a TV show or something, because when you are, they go to the network and you actually get your fan mail. And my best letters were from prison because these guys had a lot of time to compose their letters really well.
How old were you? How old were you when you were getting those?
Were you an adult? During the last 30, sort of sitcom incarnation called The Brady's. I think about 4 people watched it, which is 4 too many.
How old were you?
Oh, I was 27, 28.
Okay, so you weren't. 28. It wasn't when you were playing Cindy. You're getting these.
No. Okay. Although I got letters from prison when I was little, asking for my underwear and stuff. But actually, no, those were just from regular guys. the prison letters,
No,
they,
from
they,
guys
they
who
monitor
should. No,
those.
it's from guys who should be in prison.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, it was when I was older, and they were really very considerate and nice, thoughtful letters. I'm very non-judgmental,
All right,
but
that's enough.
second to stupidity. But
Oh,
I wouldn't make it just for American males. It's
okay,
for American
okay. Hold.
Americans.
Let me play the theme. Hold on. Let me play the theme.
Okay.
Tribute to stupidity.
Well, Josh, I'm going to go you one better. I will choose for my tribute to stupidity not just American males, but Americans of all genders. And you know, there are at least 50 of those. Every American who is going, oh my gosh, Joe Biden has some cognitive issues. You have not been paying attention, and I think you have some cognitive issues.
Yep. Very good. Couldn't agree more. The crowd loves it. America, you see how stupid you are. You see how stupid you are. All right, America, you see how stupid you are. Susan, thank you so much. Another great episode of The Crusher. And stay tuned because this weekend we're going to have J.J. Carroll return. And this time Susan gets to talk to J.J.
Oh boy,
24
oh boy.
Border Patrol agent. Susan, you're gonna really appreciate this. We're going to talk about what JJ saw in Chicago and elsewhere. Susan, thank you so much as always for joining me on The
Thank
Crusher.
you.
All right.
Right.
Have a good one. All right.